When was the last time you attended a funeral of someone your age? Have you noticed your contact list shrinking as the uncomfortable aging changes after 65 silently claim your closest friends one by one? At 65, I've watched helplessly as my social circle collapsed. 6 dear friends gone in less than 2 years, others vanishing into dementia or relocating near children. These devastating senior aging signs strike with breathtaking speed, leaving behind a void no retirement planner ever mentions. The terrifying reality of life after 65 is that just when you need support most, your lifelong connections begin disappearing, taking with them the shared memories only they understood, the inside jokes only they remembered, the reflection of your younger self only they still saw. But what if I told you that these are 9 important, uncomfortable changes in aging that you can prepare for now before they come crashing down with the isolation and grief that leaves many seniors feeling invisible and forgotten? Understanding these hidden aging changes at 65 won't stop them from happening, but it could transform how you experience them. The difference between drowning in confusion and navigating with dignity through life's most challenging transitions. As we explore these senior aging signs together, I invite you to receive them not as discouraging forecasts, but as valuable aging warnings that, once understood, can help you navigate your later decades with greater wisdom, dignity, and even joy. I'm Vernon, and today I'm sharing insights I wish someone had given me before I turned 65. Honest truths about uncomfortable aging changes that our youth-obsessed culture rarely addresses. There's something profoundly liberating about facing the realities of aging directly. And you'll particularly want to stay for change number 6. It completely transformed how I interact with society and reclaim my dignity when facing the subtle discrimination that comes with senior aging signs. This single insight has helped countless elders maintain their sense of worth during their life after 65. What I've discovered is that facing these uncomfortable aging changes directly doesn't diminish life's quality, it enhances it. By understanding what truly happens as we age, we can adapt more effectively, set realistic expectations, and focus our energy on what remains possible rather than lamenting what's changed. As we explore these 9 uncomfortable aging changes, I invite you to consider them as a gift from someone who has already walked this path. If you find value in these reflections on aging changes at 65, please subscribe to our channel and watch until the end. The final change I'll discuss might be the most surprising and potentially the most transformative of all. Now, let's begin with the first uncomfortable aging change that caught me completely unprepared. The first uncomfortable aging change no one prepared me for was how dramatically time perception shifts after 65. Ancient philosopher Theophrastus noted, "Time is the most valuable thing a man can spend." Yet no one warned me how this relationship transforms in later years. This senior aging sign manifests contradictorily. Days often pass tediously, while years accelerate breathtakingly. Tuesday afternoons stretch endlessly, yet 5 years vanish in what feels like moments. Neuroscience explains this phenomenon. Novel experiences create stronger memories, making time seem slower. In youth, everything is new. After 65, with fewer novel experiences, our brains process time differently, creating this unsettling acceleration. I wish someone had warned me that this aging change requires recalibrating how I plan. 5-year plans become almost meaningless when those years feel subjectively like 1 or 2. At 62, I still procrastinate on important experiences, assuming I had plenty of time. By 65, I realized with shock how quickly time had compressed, forcing me to adopt thoughtful urgency. a clear-eyed understanding that time is finite and accelerating. Have you noticed your time perception changing? Share your experiences in the comments. The second uncomfortable aging change that blindsided me after 65 was the accelerating loss of my social circle, a senior aging sign that profoundly alters life's landscape. Aristotle wrote, "Without friends, no one would choose to live, though he had all other goods." What he didn't mention was how friendship becomes increasingly fragile territory as we age. While we intellectually understand that death rates increase with age, the emotional reality of multiple friends dying within short periods creates a cumulative grief I was unprepared for. This isn't just about mourning individual losses, it's about losing those who shared your history, who remembered you when you were young. By 65, I had lost 6 close friends within 2 years. Each death reopened previous wounds. Beyond death, others disappeared into dementia, serious illness, or relocated near adult children. My social fabric was suddenly, irreparably altered. I wish someone had warned me about the importance of continually cultivating new relationships while honoring older ones. The natural tendency is to rely on established friendships, but aging's mathematical reality makes this strategy increasingly painful. At 63, I joined a writing group with members spanning ages 60 to 85. This seemingly frivolous decision proved crucial. As contemporaries died, these newer connections provided essential social sustenance and fresh perspectives. The wisdom: continuously expand your circle while you still have energy. Intergenerational friendships prove especially valuable, providing both stability and fresh perspectives as you navigate aging's challenges. Have your friendships changed as you've aged? Please share your experiences and strategies in the comments. Your insights might help others prepare for this inevitable transition. The third uncomfortable aging change that caught me unprepared was the complex, contradictory emotional landscape that emerges after 65. Plato observed, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Yet our culture provides few honest examinations of the emotional terrain of aging, leaving us without maps or guides. This senior aging sign involves surprising emotional volatility. Moments of profound contentment exist alongside inexplicable melancholy. Small joys, a bird at the feeder, morning sunlight, suddenly hold extraordinary power, while trivial frustrations trigger disproportionate responses. Research links these shifts to neurological changes and lifetime accumulation of experiences. Our aging brains process emotional stimuli differently, often with reduced inhibition and greater intensity. I wish someone had told me this represents not emotional regression, but a different kind of maturity, one allowing greater authenticity at the cost of stability. At 61, I found myself crying during a simple television commercial, something that would have embarrassed me earlier. Instead of fighting these responses, I've learned to welcome them as evidence of a heart that remains open despite life's hardships. These moments, once embraced, become unexpected gifts of aging. The fourth uncomfortable aging change is how the body develops both unexpected limitations and surprising new capabilities after 65. Hippocrates wrote, "Walking is man's best medicine." What he didn't mention is how walking itself transforms with age, requiring completely recalibrated expectations. This senior aging sign extends beyond standard warnings about declining stamina. What shocked me was the unpredictable, inconsistent nature of physical changes. Some capacities remain intact while others vanish overnight. While sustained aerobic activity became challenging, my body developed an unexpected capacity for shorter, intense efforts. My standing endurance declined, Yet flexibility improved with proper attention. I wish someone had explained this. Aging change requires not just adaptation, but experimentation. Standard senior fitness advice often proves inadequate for each unique aging body. Consider Martha Graham, the revolutionary dancer who continued performing into her 70s and teaching into her 90s. She discovered that while her jumping ability diminished, her capacity for expressive movement and precise gesture actually deepened with age. As she famously said, "Age is not a particularly interesting subject. Anyone can get old. All you have to do is live long enough." The wisdom: approach physical activity with curious experimentation. The aging body defies generalization, requiring individualized discovery rather than standardized prescriptions. Have you discovered unexpected physical capabilities as you've aged? Share your experiences in the comments. The fifth uncomfortable aging change involves memory's transformation after 65, far more nuanced than simple decline. Conventional narratives focus exclusively on memory loss, creating disproportionate fear. What surprised me was memory's selective nature. Certain types diminish while others strengthen. Neuroscience now distinguishes between episodic memory, semantic memory, procedural memory, and emotional memory. These systems age differently, creating complexity rather than uniform decline. While names and recent events might become elusive, wisdom-related pattern recognition often improves. The brain prioritizes meaningful connections over trivial details. At 78, I could no longer reliably remember yesterday's breakfast, yet could suddenly recognize patterns across decades that previously escaped my notice. Working with younger colleagues, I contributed perspectives based on these pattern recognition abilities, capabilities I hadn't possessed in middle age. The practical wisdom: adapt systems while appreciating evolving cognitive strengths. I use external memory aids for details while valuing enhanced pattern recognition, transforming memory's evolution from anxiety source to opportunity for cognitive specialization. The sixth uncomfortable aging change that caught me unprepared was the subtle but pervasive way society begins to render you invisible after 65. The ancient Roman philosopher Seneca observed, "The contempt of death is the beginning of virtue." Yet I've found that confronting society's contempt for aging requires an even deeper courage than facing mortality itself. This senior aging sign manifests in countless small interactions: being addressed with infantilizing language, "sweetie dear," having comments ignored in group settings, watching people direct questions about you to younger companions, sensing impatience when you take a moment to think before responding. Research confirms this experience. Studies show healthcare providers spend less time with elderly patients, interrupt them more frequently, and often dismiss their concerns. Similar patterns appear across social contexts. What I wish someone had prepared me for regarding this aging change at 65 is how it gradually erodes confidence and self-concept unless consciously counteracted. The danger isn't just external dismissal, but internalizing this diminished status. At 76, during a family gathering, I noticed younger members routinely talking over me and dismissing my perspectives. Rather than withdrawing, I experimented with techniques to reclaim my voice, speaking more concisely, using intentional pauses, and occasionally noting when I was being interrupted. These simple strategies dramatically changed how others responded to me. The wisdom here isn't to rage against societal bias, but to develop practical techniques for maintaining your rightful place in conversation and community. I found that speaking with deliberate authority, making direct eye contact, and gently but firmly reclaiming interrupted thoughts helps counteract invisibility without creating tension. These skills have transformed my social experience from frustration to empowerment. Have you experienced this social invisibility as you've aged? What strategies have you found effective for maintaining your dignity and voice? I'd appreciate hearing your experiences in the comments, as we can learn much from each other about navigating this challenging aspect of life after 65. The seventh uncomfortable aging change is the profound spiritual awakening or crisis that often emerges after 65. This senior aging sign transcends religious affiliation. As mortality becomes increasingly concrete, questions about meaning, purpose, and legacy surface with unprecedented urgency. Developmental psychology suggests this spiritual dimension isn't incidental but integral to healthy aging. Erik Erikson identified integrity versus despair as life's final developmental stage, while gerontologist Lars Tornstam described gerotranscendence, a shift toward more cosmic perspectives in advanced age. Carl Jung, who developed many of his most profound theories after 65, wrote, "The afternoon of life is just as full of meaning as the morning, only its meaning and purpose are different." His own spiritual awakening in later life led to his most innovative work on the collective unconscious. At 61, despite lifelong religious practice, I experienced what mystics call the dark night of the soul, a period of profound spiritual questioning. I created a daily contemplative practice incorporating elements from various wisdom traditions, gradually transforming existential anxiety into deepening wisdom. The eighth, uncomfortable. Aging change involves the unexpected evolution of family relationships after 65. This senior aging sign often manifests as role reversal with adult children and re-evaluation of long-term partnerships. Parent-child relationships transform, sometimes with adult children assuming directive roles. Simultaneously, decades-long marriages face new pressures as health changes, retirement, and increased togetherness alter established patterns. Research shows these transitions typically occur without discussion, creating tension and resentment. Family therapist Dr. Monica McGoldrick notes, "The most problematic transitions are those that go unnamed and undiscussed." I wish someone had explained the importance of explicitly renegotiating relationship boundaries rather than allowing implicit shifts to create confusion. At 64, when my son began making family decisions without consulting me, I initiated a candid conversation about our changing roles, expressing both my need for respect and my understanding of his growing responsibilities. This dialogue established clearer expectations, preserving dignity and connection. The wisdom: don't resist natural evolution in family dynamics, but ensure changes occur consciously rather than by default. Regular conversations about changing needs transform potential conflicts into opportunities for deeper understanding. Have you experienced shifts in family relationships as you've aged? Share your approaches in the comments. The ninth and most profound uncomfortable aging change involves coming to peace with life's final chapter, a process beginning in earnest after 65. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live." What I've discovered is that truly living requires making peace with ending. This senior aging sign manifests as persistent awareness that you're composing your life story's concluding chapters. It appears in reflections on what truly mattered, what you'll leave behind, and how you wish to be remembered. It emerges in decisions about possessions, relationships, and how to spend precious remaining time. Research shows this life review process isn't morbid but potentially generative. The renowned neurologist Oliver Sacks, who wrote movingly about his own final chapter in Gratitude, noted, "I cannot pretend I am without fear, but my predominant feeling is one of gratitude. Above all, I have been a sentient being, a thinking animal, on this beautiful planet, and that, in itself, has been an enormous privilege and adventure." The practical wisdom: engage in regular intentional life review, transforming awareness of life's conclusion from dread to opportunity for integration and legacy. As we conclude our exploration of these 9 uncomfortable aging changes, recognize that understanding them isn't about surrendering to decline, but preparing for transformation. These senior aging signs aren't shared to discourage, but to equip you with insights that took me years to discover through painful trial and error. Foreknowledge provides the opportunity to meet these changes with intention rather than confusion. The most important wisdom about life after 65 is that while certain capacities diminish, others emerge or strengthen. Time perception shifts, but brings extraordinary presence to ordinary moments. Social circles contract, but remaining connections deepen. Memory changes, but pattern recognition flourishes. Take action now. Don't wait until these changes blindside you. Then subscribe and hit the notification bell. Our next video reveals that it will completely transform how you view aging. Don't forget to share this video today with someone approaching their later years. It could save them years of unnecessary struggle. Which of these 9 changes surprised you most? Tell me in the comments below. Remember Cicero's wisdom: no one is so old as to think they cannot live one more year. May your remaining years be lived with the clarity of understanding rather than the confusion of denial.